Welcome back to the Anthony Lee Crypto Channel. We are live. It is Sunday afternoon. No camera today, guys. No camera. Most of you who come to the show regularly know that we are moving this week. We have our main house, and we've been in the rental for quite some time, doing some renovations on the big house, the homestead. You guys know we show you some updates on that from time to time, but we're kind of in the process of having everything packed up. I'll flip the camera on. I got the green screen down. We've been painting walls and doing stuff, so we were just here. Here you get to see me in all my glory for a moment and off. So no camera today. It isn't quite, it blocks out too much because I don't have the green screen on. So you guys just have to deal with it without seeing my ugly face today. We've been kind of sick this weekend. You know, we were kind of sick a little on Thursday, Friday, kind of under the weather. I'm getting better. I'm not 100%. Jane is kind of taking a little turn for the worse. I mean, she's alive. She's fine. She's just, I seem to be recovering a little faster but then again, I was sick longer than she was. So I think I'm a little further along the road to recovery than she is. So hopefully we'll be back tomorrow or at least sometime this week. Anyway, looking at the Bitcoin price today, and Bitcoin, guys, is going to crash this week. maybe even today. Traditional market, not traditional markets, but futures markets open in a few hours, so we're going to see which direction we head. Now, if assuming price is somewhere around where it is now when it opens in a few hours, we should have a little Bitcoin CME gap to the upside at about 70K. I don't know if they go get it or not. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, but I do expect pressure to the downside this week, guys. We got a lot of things going on. Let's start off with the Trumpster himself. A little flashbang here. Trump has posted this. If that country right there does not fully open without threat, the Strait of Hormuz within 48 hours from this exact point in time, the USA will hit and obliterate the various power plants, starting with the biggest one first. That, my friends, is called fear in the market. You're not necessarily seeing it yet. When was this? This was 17 hours ago. So that means they have about, mental math, 31 hours left. So what is that? What is that? 24 from now. So till about 8 p.m. Central Standard Time Monday night. So we'll see. We'll probably know by tomorrow if they're going to or not. So I'm thinking when the markets open, when futures markets open this evening, you could see some fear exiting the market. A lot of people exiting their positions because of fear. So be careful. And let me tell you something. If this holds true and he starts taking out power over there, power plants, you're going to see a big dumpola. So this could get really nasty. Now they could comply and everything could open up and things go back to being business as usual. But I don't know. I doubt it. I just doubt it. So anyway, we are on dump alert, guys. Crash alert incoming. I'm going to go over something really cool with you guys today called the Shemitah. It's a biblical Jewish thing we're going to talk about. It is about, God, we're way ahead of schedule. It's about a year and a half away, but I've been kind of looking at it, and I've discussed it in Discord with some people, and we're going to go over that today. I've got some historical data on that, so you'll definitely want to stay tuned to that. Could make you or save you a lot of money, in my opinion. We're going to go over that here in just a bit. Let's fast forward here. We're looking at the March stats. We drew these March stats on March the 1st. The arrow, the boxes, all of this was put on March the 1st. This was based upon historical data. We'll be coming out next week with our April stats and our April expectations. Thus far, March is playing out beautifully. We fully called for a move to the upside to begin March. We had the target box on here, nailed the target box to a dang T. And now we're winding our way down to the target box to the downside. So fully expect this to play out probably this week. So far, so good. You know, we've been doing these for about the last 6 months or so. I started doing these. And tune back in on either March 31st or April 1st when I put out the stats for April. We have nailed them, and I mean nailed them to a dang T the last 6 months in a row. Predicted exactly which way the market would open, exactly where it would go to the upside and downside. So really good historical data there, guys. Let's go back to Bitcoin real quick. And look, we are getting 16-hour and 18-hour Bjorn volatility expansion. Unconfirmed. This is the 16-hour. It'll confirm in 5 hours and 35 minutes. But you can see, guys, we are getting Bjorn expansion. And with that expansion, stochastic is pointing to the downside. So we are expecting a big move to the downside. Let's take a look at the 18-hour. Same dealio, unconfirmed. It will confirm, same thing, 5.5 hours. You're getting expansion above the 15, and it's kind of sideways, kind of flat. But if that 16-hour continues to push price down, this will flip the stochastic to the downside, which could mean an even bigger move to the downside for Bitcoin. So, yeah, let's be on the lookout for that, guys. See what happened last time we got Bjorn expansion here. That was right here on the 18-hour. You got expansion right here. And while you got expansion on this particular one, expansion here, stochastic was positioned to the upside. And you got the big move up here for about 7% to the upside on Bitcoin during that last Bjorn volatility expansion. Now, let's see, the last time we got it to the downside was back over here. Again, I'm on the 18-hour. It's not confirmed. It will confirm. Got it right here. Volatility expanded over the 15. Stochastic was to the downside. This will confirm in 5.5 hours, possibly confirm. And this gave you a move, same thing, about 8% to the downside. So both the last two expansions gave you 8%. That doesn't mean you would get 8% this time, but if you did, 8% will put you somewhere down around that 62 to 63K area. Okay? And again, it doesn't have to be 8%. I mean, so I have no idea what the average is. So it does not have to be 8%. Just the last two were both 8%. So just be aware, if this confirms, then we should have a big move incoming quickly for Bitcoin. The direction will depend upon the direction of the stochastic upon confirmation. As of now, it is flat on the 18-hour, and on the 16-hour, it is positioned down. So we shall see in 5.5 hours how this one ends up. But either way, it is calling for a big move on Bitcoin incoming within the next 24 hours. Guys, that 10-day cross that we were looking at, we're going to go ahead and look at that in a second. It did confirm. It confirmed with yesterday's closure. Let's look at this moon. We called for this dang bear moon, and boy, is it playing out. So let's go to the daily. It is playing out. Now, the average bear moon plays out for about 7.5% to the downside. That's the average. Some of them are much, much larger. Let's look at the last one, see what the last one played out for, kind of get an idea. That is the total. So a bear moon last 2 weeks, a new moon or bull moon last 2 weeks. So the total downside move from the bear moon to the max bottom here on the last one was about 9.5%. The one before that got you about 20%. The one before that, not so much. Only got you about 2%. But so the average is about 7.5%. Now, that doesn't mean anything. You could do, I mean, this could be invalidated. But as of now, you have gotten about 4.5% to the downside. If you went to the average of 7.5%, that puts you right in our target area for potential bounce, which is about 65.5 to 66K right in here. That is my first area of interest for a bounce trade. If you lose that area, I have it marked as key on the map. If you lose that on the chart, if you lose this key area, key right there, I'm going to angle this to the downside because that is exactly what's going to happen if you lose this area. You, my friend, are going to be headed to downside. You can see every time we've come to this area, you just wicked it, and bounce, right? The two times you actually close below it, big move down. And then the second time here, big move down on actual daily candle closes below the key. So expecting a bounce trade here. I'm actually expecting a failed bounce trade. So I would expect, and again, it doesn't have to be a straight line. It's something like this. And it may not go to here, wherever it goes to. Either way, I would expect a failed rally there to continuation down sub 60K. This is what we're looking for, guys. But and that also lines up on a daily level, a weekly level, and the value area low, Bybit value area low, along with your key area. And you have a little swing low level there, too. You could grab some liquidity and bounce before, in my opinion, rolling back over for more downside. So what we're looking for, guys. This is what we're looking for. We're going to go over this in just a second. Shemitah stuff. Here's that 10-day cross I was telling you about. We have been studying this for a couple of weeks now, actually. It is our 10-day 21 crossing the 55. We did finish that candle. No, we didn't. I'm sorry. We did not finish that candle. We will close this candle in 5.5 hours. So remember this candle, I told you 100% of the time has always finished red, and it had been white or green this entire week, and I told you don't count it out, and sure, that was on Friday, and sure enough, here we go, down into the red. Now, 100% of the time, also the candle, the 10-day candle that follows it has finished red. Also, again, there's only been 4 iterations, so I understand it's not much, but we can expect, based on historical performance for this next candle to finish red. Also, I don't think we come down to the 200 SMA today. So I do think that will be different. This time will be different. Every other time this current candle that we're on has led to your bear market low, your bear market bottom, okay? I don't think this was going to happen in the next 5 hours, but I do think in the next 10-day period, which has historically always been 100% a red candle, I do think this will be the one that sends you down to the low, bear market low. All right. And we've gone over this extensively. We're not going to go through all these examples again. You could just look. Every one of them. Get the cross down to the – oh, I'm on the wrong time frame. My fault. My fault. Get the cross down to the 200. Get the cross down to the 200. Get the cross down to the 200. Get the cross. Didn't quite get there this time. But that's okay. In this example, you got the cross, and it was the next candle that sent you down. So we'll expect that on this upcoming candle. Actually, I lied again. We are on that. We are about a half a day into that candle. I'm sorry. When I told you it closed the 10-day closes in 5 hours, I was on the weekly time frame. I'm sorry. We are on the next 10-day candle. So I am expecting this one to send us down. That along with the other stats we looked at, the 16 and 18 hour Bjorn crossover with our March monthly stats. All of those lead me to believe that this is actually going to play out and push us down to that 200 SMA, which is currently coming in about 55K. Somewhere in that area. I would look for that push down. Carry Benz, what's up, bro? Let's see who's here. Max. Good afternoon. Salt Chain. Johnny number 5. Hawkborn. What's going on? Happy Sunday. Hey, Carry Benz. I've shown you guys a little. Check this out. Carry Benz will probably like this. Well, you know, Jane and I, Catherine and I, whatever you want to call her. We have our Mississippi Lee's channel. You know, it's kind of just cheesy. We're just doing live. Check this out, Carrie Benz. You'll like this, man. A little short video of me and the boy, Jackson Lee, playing a little Fortnite yesterday. Whatever you want to call her. We have our Mississippi Lee. I got him. Mine's down. Mine's down. Mine's down.
I wasn't even waiting.
Oh, you're not even there? Oh, dude, you're killing me.
Finished yours.
I got them both.
I got the second kill.
Did you? Dang it, you stole my kill.
I beat him.
You stole my kill.
Sure.
Alright. I got him. Mine's down. Pretty cool, huh? Carrie Benz playing a little Fortnite, getting the games in there. Yeah, we had fun. Our house is kind of bare right now. We're sitting on little chairs. We're moving back to our main house this week, so we got most everything packed up. In fact, I'll show you one more quick video. I don't even have to put the audio on. This was Catherine Jane in here painting. For those of you that follow her channel, she has a purple wall that she uses her backdrop. This purple wall. So this was in the rental house that we're in currently, moving this week, but. She was in here painting the wall. I snuck in and took a little video of her painting her little purple wall. So, pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool. And I'll flash the camera on. That's where I'm sitting right now, right in front of her former purple wall. This is where the Jane videos get filmed right here. I am in her space. Just no purple wall. All right, guys. Did y'all catch that altcoin hack? I hope some of you guys in the Discord, I put out the video. For those of you not in the Discord, join us at anthonyleecrypto.com. Right here, you can join our VIP Discord. Guys, I put in the Discord the other day the altcoin video hack. It's only for the VIP Discord. Right here, VIP live streams. I posted it right here. Quick scalp hack. And it played out twice over the weekend. I took one of them. I only took it for about 1%. I made about $1,000. Got out, but it did play out the full 3%. I give you, it's kind of hard to see, but I gave you both of these trades. Boom, gave you that trade on Friday, and then gave you this trade yesterday right here. Gave you both of those trades. Both of them played out to perfection. Altcoin hack, easy money on altcoins. You know I don't leverage trade altcoins, but this was easy trading. You could still look at our Kraken accounts. This particular account, you can see the balance up in the top left, $81,000. The other account is at $74,000 that you've seen. So we're at a total of $155,000. Started with 110 on February 1st. We were up exactly $45,000 since February 1st, just spot trading altcoins. And I missed the big fetch trade. Actually, I had it. I got out way too soon. This trade right here that I gave you in Discord, I gave you the trade. I told you I bought like right there. I think it was. Maybe a little lower. I think I bought down in here. Told you I just bought fetch, and then I sold it right there. And then it went 60% more. I bought $70,000 worth. So I should have made about 40 grand more than I made. But who knew this was going to happen? What are the odds? None of the other coins did that. Whatever. I ain't mad. It is what it is. We made some profit. We're up 45 grand, in about 6 weeks on spot trading alts. So, but anyway, if you missed the video, go back to Discord, VIP Discord, VIP live stream only. You can see the hack that I gave and that I use very often for scalping these alts. And if we look back at WorldCoin, dang it, I keep doing that. Sorry guys, I'm still a little under the weather. That hack played out for both of these, there and there, and I gave you both of them. So I actually took this one yesterday. I did not take this one. I gave this one live on the live stream Friday. I told you guys this. I told you as soon as it came on stream that I almost bought WorldCoin. It was about to pump, and sure enough, it did right there on the live stream. I just didn't take it because I was streaming with you guys, but I saw it. Go check it out. If you're not in the Discord, join the Discord. Join me on copy trading. I hit up copy trading. I'm copy trading, folks. I'm spamming the chat with a copy trade. MEXC link. Caribbean says he was using crypto bubbles to check possible coins that may have possibility of having the hack. I'm not familiar with crypto bubbles. Sounds like a stripper. I'm not familiar with that. Did you find any? I mean, you get them all the time. You get them all the time. I mean, here on WorldCoin, you got 1-2 days in a row. Oh, WorldCoin's moving down, by the way. You got them 2 days in a row right here. What's up, Moy Marcus? Moy Marcus was talking about this hack, this altcoin hack in Discord. Moy Marcus gave us a new free money zone, too. I'm going to have that one for you guys tomorrow on the main live stream. Anyway, you get these all the time. Not financial advice, but just pick you 2 or 3 coins to kind of rotate this hack. Don't be chasing the hack on every coin. It's just going to get too much and it's going to get confusing. You get them often enough that if you follow 2 or 3 coins, you'll get more than enough of these hack trades. I mean, hell, you see we're up 45 grand in 6 weeks taking hack trades and a couple other bigger trades with them, but up a lot of money, guys. I want to discuss something kind of serious with you guys, but it's a little far off. But in my opinion, you need to plan it, okay? Because this is going to go, in my opinion, one of 3 ways. Put a 1 in chat if you've heard of the Shmita. The Shmita is a real thing. Whether you believe in it or not, it is a real thing. Max has heard of the Shmita. John's heard of the Shmita. Come on, guys. If you've heard of the Shmita, put a 1 in chat. We're about to go over it. Got a poll, too. Let's take a look at our poll while you guys decide if you've heard of the Shmita or not. The poll says, will Bitcoin crash below 60K this week? 64% say yay. 9% say nay. 27% say maybe a dump, but not sub 60K. I think we're going sub 60K, baby. And I think it's going to be a very, very fast wick. I really think you're going to see something probably. either we're going to just rip straight through all this, or you're going to see something like this. Boom, boom, and then about 1 day, 2 day, 3 day. Something like that. By Friday, we're down here. I think by Friday we're down here, or by the end of the day, Monday, we're down here. One of the two. If this doesn't hold, I think we're just ripping by end of the day, Monday down here. If you get a little bounce here, I think probably by Friday you're down here. Just my opinion, not financial advice. All right, so I guess only 2 of you have heard of Shemitah. Check it out, guys. See if I can muddy up this chart real quick. All right, guys. Shemitah. I'm going to go to the S&P, and then we're going to come back to Bitcoin for the Shemitah. I'm going to go on the weekly time frame. Okay, what the Shemitah is, okay, and listen, follow me. Please don't click off if you're not a believer in Christ or a believer in the Bible, because this is a real thing, whether you believe that it's from God or not. It is a real statistical thing. So it is an actual thing. It is a Jewish thing. It is an Old Testament law or commandment. And here's several references from it. And I want you to pay attention. I'm going to show you how you can make a lot of money with this, whether you believe in the Bible or not. And I'm going to prove it to you, okay? In Exodus, this mainly applied to farming the land back then. But, you know, I'm going to show you how it applies to the chart. But, you know, farming the land could be anything. Like, that's your work, right? You're a farmer. That's your work. So you could apply it to trading, or you could apply it to construction, or you could apply it to, whatever. I don't know. Whatever it is you do, you could apply it to. Basically, the Lord is telling you, work for 6 years, take the 7th year off. Shemitah year means sabbatical year. That means the year of the Lord. That means you rest and you kind of reap what you sow. You live off what you've earned. You work your tail off, and then you live off of those earnings for that year, because your crops will not yield any harvest. So you'll be spinning your wheels. You won't make anything in that 7th year. The Lord commanded it. And I'm going to show you how this translates. But it was first introduced as a 7-year land rest. So no sowing, pruning, or harvesting for profit. The land itself is given a Sabbath to the Lord. This is the main Shemitah law. Deuteronomy also says it's a release of debts every 7 years, and that carries over to modern day debt relief. If you file bankruptcy 7 years later, it falls off of your record. So that's kind of where this stems from. The 7th year, your debts are forgiven. Leviticus says, promise of provision. God will provide enough in 6 years to cover the year number 7. So it teaches you to trust in the Lord to provide, okay? Now, whether you believe that or not, okay, which I do, okay? I believe in the Bible. I believe in Jesus. I believe in all of that. But let's look at the market. So every 7 years, there is a 1-year period called the Shemitah, okay? And it's usually September to September, sometimes October. As it's you know, the old-timey calendar is a little bit different than the modern-day calendar, but it's pretty dang close. It's pretty much September to September every 7 years. And I've gone back in the S&P here. I just went back to like 1986, the last 40 years. Feel free to go back as far as you want and back test this, okay? And I've highlighted every Shemitah year, and you just can't make this stuff up, guys. So in my illustration, going back 40 years, 1986, 1987, the months of the Shemitah were September to September. The S&P crashed 36%. And in fact, during that time was the largest single-day crash in the history of the stock market. Okay, it was like a 22% crash or something like that in one day. I'm looking at this chart on the weekly time frame. So this was the 86 to 87 Shemitah, okay, 36%, okay? Let's go to 93 to 94, which would have been the next Shemitah. The S&P did a 10% crash. Now, that doesn't sound like much to you guys, but that is a lot, especially when it translates over to cryptocurrency. But either way, during this particular year, this is September to September, 93 to 94, the Fed raised the rates 7 times that year, causing market weakness and a 10% correction. Let's go 7 more years, September of 2000 to September of 2001, a Shemitah year. This was the dot-com bubble crash. The S&P crashed 39%, okay? Fast forward to the next Schmiede year. This was the housing market crash, September of 2007 to September 2008. 48% correction in the S&P. Guys, you can't make this stuff up. I don't care who you are. 2014 to 2015, oil market crash. This was when China was looking like they were about to, their economy was about to crash. The oil market crashed. 15% correction during the Schmiede year. Follow me, guys. And then the last one was 21 to 22. This was a 28% S&P crash. This was caused by inflation from COVID-19, printing money, all that kind of good stuff. Caused the crash, 28%. Guys, these are massive. I know 15%, 28%, that sounds like business as usual for Bitcoin. But during those times, let's look at Bitcoin, okay? Same thing, Bitcoin. Bitcoin has only been through 2 Schmiedes. Where's my Schmiede? There's my Schmiede. Bitcoin's only been through 2 Schmiedes. 2014 to 2015, okay? 75% crash. Okay, that is not even the total. The total is up here. This is just from when the Schmiede started. They dropped down during the Schmiede. 75%, okay? And then 21 to 22, it actually timed right there near the top, and you got another 75% crash, guys. So just because the S&P is only going down 10 or 15%, which most of these were 30+%. Let's go back. That is a massive drop for cryptocurrency, guys. Let's look right now. I mean, look, most of these 28%, 15%, 48, 39, 10, 30, huge dumps, all in the Schmiede year, just like as biblically prophesied or commanded, that your crops will not produce a harvest. You will work for 6 years and rest for the 7th year. And I'm not trying to preach to you. I'm trying to teach you that whether you believe or not, you're statistically on the wrong side of the fence if you think we're going up in a Schmiede year. This is 40 years worth, and it goes further back. I just got tired of typing this stuff out, so I stopped. 40 years is plenty. If you don't believe after 40 years, you're not going to believe. So let's look at current. For those of you who think that, 10%, 15%, 28%, that's not a lot. Okay, those are S&P numbers. Let's look at current S&P pullback. Current S&P pullback, 7% since end of January. 7%. Let's go to Bitcoin. Since end of January, 7% on the S&P, 38% on Bitcoin, guys. So can you imagine if you got a 15 or 20 or 38% pullback on the S&P, what that would do to Bitcoin? If the S&P is already at 7% and Bitcoin's at 38%, I'll tell you what it would do. I'll tell you exactly what it would do. It would do exactly what it did the last 2 times, 75%. So do not dismiss this, guys. Like, you just can't make up these numbers. You can't make up the time frame. You can't tell me it's just coincidence. But whatever. Okay, so what does that have to do with next cycle? Okay, here's where it gets interesting, okay? Here's where it gets really interesting and where I'm probably going to be the first one on YouTube predicting a shorter cycle. Okay, so what I have marked out here in green are, which is a good thing, guys. This is going to end up one of 3 ways, okay? Either way, next time will be different, okay? Either way this plays out, because what I'm going to show you. So when the green lines that I have marked out are the Bitcoin halvings, okay? So when you have the halvings, I then have the number of bars to the top. Kerry Benz has seen a correlation with 7-year cycles, but no idea about this. Yeah, brother. I'm telling you, it's Shemitah. I'm telling you. And I'm going to go to a whole further and detailed video about this, because if you can plan for these guys, you can make an absolute fortune, okay? Or at least you could not ride a 75% drawdown. And nobody's going to be calling for this. And I'm going to tell you why nobody's going to be calling for it. I mean, you may have a couple of Shemitah folks out there. I'm about to show you why nobody's going to see this coming. Most people won't see this coming. Okay, so when you have a halving, so far, look, check it out. You have the halving right here, the green lines, the halving green vertical lines, July of 2016, about 74 bars. This is a weekly time frame for Bitcoin. About 74 bars I mean, it may be 75. I just drew it out here, 74. I didn't go into the exact day of the halving. I just put it on the week. So 74 days until the top, or 74 weeks, excuse me, to the top. 74 weeks, right? Follow me. Next cycle, 78 weeks. And again, I'm sure it's a specific number of days, but I just drew it week to week. 74, 78, and then this last one, 75. So 74, 78, 75. So we can all agree that's about 75 weeks, right? 75 weeks from the halving to the top, okay? Well, if we're supposed to get this big Shemitah correction, here's why this is going to be different. The Shemitah was never affected before because it timed up with the top here, so that just 75 weeks, that's par for the course. However, with the next halving to the date of the Shemitah beginning is only 21 weeks, not 75 weeks. Okay? So one of three things is going to happen here. Okay? One of three things is going to happen here. Either we're going to bottom now and go ahead and start our bull run up now and then correct in here, right? And of course, this is not, it doesn't have to be straight line stuff. You get what I'm saying. We're either going to bottom right now and go ahead and start an early cycle. I do think we would chop around for the summer, right? But my point is start an early cycle, whereas everyone's looking for like an October, November, December bottom here. We bottom in March, form a bottom over 3 or 4 months, and then start an early bull run and then crash for Shemitah, which has us topping about 1 year ahead of schedule, right? This would have us topping at 21 bars instead of 75 bars like always, 75 weeks. So it's going to happen that way. Or we're just going to kind of hammer all around here, bottom when we bottom, and then if we're going to get a bull run, it's going to have to be boom. Very, very short parabolic run up and then over for Shemitah. Okay? Or option number 3, it's kind of business as usual, and this just winds up being like an extended correction before we move up, okay? Which could happen. It happened here in this past cycle kind of similarly, right? Kind of similarly here. It happened right here, but the problem with this is this was about This is about, 8 months. This would have to be a year, 52 weeks, right? The Shemitah is 52 weeks. If you added that on the 21 bars, that puts you at 73 bars. That puts you at the top, right? 75 bars, 78 bars, 75 bars. That puts you at the top. Well, you can't be at the top if you're at the bottom because of the Shemitah. Okay? So, in my opinion, the 4-year cycle is broken. Not as of our top. I believe this was the last of the 4-year cycles. I believe you're about to get a shortened bear market, bull market. Yep, let me start that over. I believe you're about to get a shortened bear market, then a shortened bull market, then a shortened bear market, okay? I believe in the next 4 years, we're going to have 2 bull markets and 1 bear market. Really 2 bear markets and 1 bull market. Bear market we're in now, bull market and bear market, all within 1 4-year cycle. That is my opinion. It just happens to have a Shemitah right at the beginning. This right here, 21 weeks after the halving, this is when people expect things to be taken off. This is when you are expected to be taken off. Let's look at 21 weeks last time. At the halving, that's 21 weeks right there, right there. That is 21 weeks. That is when people are expecting the big run up. But according to Shemitah, that is when it's over. Let's look at time before. $21 weeks, right there. That is when people are expecting the run up. But we can't have that if Shemitah is going to hold. We can't have that. We can't have it. So I'm curious how you guys think this is going to play out. Is this Shemitah nonsense? Is it just Shemitah is going to be invalidated? You know, the Lord's command is just invalidated. Again, I only went back 40 years on the S&P, only 40, but it applies going all the way back. I just didn't go outline it because this is plenty. I got tired of doing it all. Every single one of them, every single Shemitah year has played out to significant move to the downside. So are you going to say that that's invalidated? If you are, then you're seriously betting against the trend. You're betting, how long has the S&P been around? I don't even know. The S&P's been around since 1957. So are you going to go against 70 years worth of price action? 70 years? And really, if you believe the Bible, about 7,000 years worth of the Lord's commandment. Are you going to go against that because of 14 years worth of Bitcoin history? Or are you going to go with the larger stat of the S&P that's been around for 70 years, and we've drawn on here the last 40 years to where it's played out every single time? I'm going to go with the 70 years of S&P and the 40 years of me personally just tracking this data. I'll go finish the rest at some point. I just wanted to bring this to you guys. I'm going to go with this stat. I believe that this is going to play out again. With that being said, I know it's a year and a half away, but that means you have to start planning how you're going to handle this. You don't, in my opinion, you don't have 3 years to figure this out. You've got a year and a half to get in, get what you can make, and get out, in my opinion, okay? Now, that could be kind of good news. That means we're about to flush this out, chop, 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 start the bull market, and then boom, come here, you sell a top, you get to buy another bottom, and then you could have another bull run right here, all within 4 years. That's good. That means you don't have to sit around and wait. You don't got to drag this out for 2 years. And you don't got to make your money in 9 months, a year, whatever it is, and then wonder if that's the top as you're selling halfway down. You don't have to do that. This tells you when it's going to start. It's a beautiful thing about the Bible, man. He tells you when it's going to start. He tells you. So I just find this extremely interesting, guys. Extremely interesting. So I plan to bottom here pretty quick, accumulate, ride it up, and then while everybody else, if we're already up here at like 175, watch what I tell you guys. If we're already up here, you know I call the next bull run about 195 is about where I call the top. If we get there at about this time, you're going to be hearing people like, we're already 21 weeks after the halving, and we're at a 200K, almost 200K. You're going to have people calling for $1 million targets because we are a year ahead of schedule. And in reality, guys, it's over. It's over. So you need to be planned. You need to be prepared. That's why I think we're going to bottom 6 months early, because everything is ahead of schedule. The Shemitah. Nobody's saying anything. You almost think I'm like a crazy Bible-thumping preacher over here. Nobody's saying anything. Oh, good. Good. Johnny number 5 believes it fully. Max is sold. Good. All right. So that is the Shemitah. I'm going to do a whole video on this. I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of the S&P all the way back, the other 30 years that I did not include. It's there. I just got tired of typing. Carrie Benz is in. Good. Yeah, man. You just can't deny it. Even if you don't believe the rest of the Bible and, you know, the Savior, Jesus is the Savior and all that, which I do, you cannot deny this trackable stat. You can't do it. I don't care who you are. You can't do it. It's impossible because it is right here on the chart. You can't deny it. And so we would be a bit foolish, in my opinion, not to take note of this when this comes around. September of 2028 through September of 2029. And again, some of you just joined. Bitcoin has only been through two of them, two Shmitas, and both of them led to 75% corrections. I remember I was around for this one. I had heard of the Shemitah. I don't want to say I didn't believe, because I was a believer in Christ. I was a believer in the Bible. But, you know, just like some of you hear me saying it right now, you're not going to believe it until you see it. I don't want to say I didn't believe, but I just hadn't experienced it. So, because I came in the market, the crypto market, back here in probably middle of 2016, maybe late 2015. I was right here, right in here, late 2015. And so I had just missed the Shemitah, and I'd never heard of it. I didn't hear about the Shemitah until right in here. And I was like, okay, I mean, let's just see. And when it happened, that's when I actually went back and backtracked all this. I backtested it all with the S&P and the Dow. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is spooky accurate. This is a good thing, guys, if it's going to be a sped up cycle. Now, it's a bad thing if it just means, to me, it's a bad thing if it's going to be just a lackluster cycle, right? Like if I'm still on the weekly for Bitcoin. Like if, we come down, let's say I'm wrong about the bottom coming in the next couple weeks, and we haul around here, and then we finally bottom here in October, November, and then we just kind of take our time and chop, chop, chop. And then this winds up just being a lackluster cycle that doesn't even break the high. That's not a good thing. I think it's going to be better than that. I think we're going to go ahead and bottom now, chop, 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 and then start this a little early and then finish. So I still think we're going to get that big run up. I just going to think it's going to start much sooner and less of this chop. Just my opinion, guys. And a lot of things lead to that. A lot of the other things lead to we're fixing a bottom like right now. A lot of other things. Like this thing we just covered with our 10-day death cross that is now confirmed. It is confirmed, guys. It is confirmed. 10-day death cross is confirmed. And every single time we got the confirmation, boom, led to the bottom of the bear market. Right here, 10-day confirmation, boom, bottom of the bear market, next candle. 10-day confirmation, boom, bottom of the bear market, next candle. Every single time. Every single time. So we are expecting that right now in this current 10-day period that we just started today. And that would help us with the sped up cycle, assuming that bottom holds. You need to be ready for your altcoins. If you're going to accumulate some alts, you need to be ready. Look at the hack I gave you guys. Look at this hack, guys. It's in VIP Discord. Gave you this hack, WorldCoin, both of these. I think they were both 3+% trades. I gave you both of these, and I told you exactly how to get this trade over and over and over again. Let's see how much of a percent these ones. I told you exactly what to look for, exactly when to enter the trade. From there to there, gave you 3.5% on that one yesterday that I took, and the one on Friday that I gave you on the live stream gave you almost 6%. I gave you both of these trades. And in Discord, I told you the altcoin hack, how to get it. Go watch that video. It's under the VIP live streams. Bitcoin moving down a little bit here. Looking for this key area coming down here. 65 point. Why is this green? I turned it green. 65.7K-ish is our key. A daily close below that. And I think we had sub 60K pretty darn quick. But I am looking for a bounce trade there, guys. For those of you just joining, I am looking for a bounce trade here, ultimately to be a failed rally to take out 60K. Down in that 58K region, possibly as low as 54K. Possibly even lower. But this is just what I'm looking for in the next couple weeks. Really, this week. Possibly even tomorrow. This is going to be the catalyst right here. This Trump Strait of Hormuz 48-hour deadline. This deadline is up at like 9 p.m.-ish Central Standard Time tomorrow, Monday. Noah's is not convinced 57K is going to be the bottom. That is not my bottom target. My bottom target is 48 to 50K right here. This is my bottom target. That is my bottom target right there. I think our big range that we're in now, this is the same range we were in 2024. And this just looks like a really juicy target right there to come take that out. Retest this little line. See how this is support and resistance right here. Little SR flip. This looks really juicy to come take this at 49.5. Let me just quick wick it, pop back up into here and chop, and then go. I don't know that we come down that far. There's a lot of support right here. A lot of support. But, man. Got a wick here. Come get these two. That is what I have on the chart as my target. 57K would correlate to the S&P down to 61. Would it? How can you tell that? It's another 6% drop. You could get much more than that on the S&P, guys. You want to get really technical, guys. You want to get really nasty. Watch this. I didn't even fib this, but let's look at this. See this golden pocket right here, guys? You want to get really nasty. This is probably Schmida nasty, though. See this golden pocket, guys? What do we have? Can anybody see anything on the chart that I'm not calling for this, guys? Anybody see anything on the chart that would lead us to believe that a golden pocket retrace is possible here, which would be, oh my gosh, Bitcoin would go to 30K. Looky at this gapola on the S&P. Right down to the golden pocket. Look at that, guys. Man, wouldn't that be something? By the time I got down there, this weekly 55 would be making its way up. Wouldn't that be something? Bitcoin would go to 30K if this happened. I'm not calling for that, guys. But that's another 13% down on the S&P. That'd probably be another 30% down on Bitcoin, I would say. What would 30% down give us? Well, it wouldn't be that low. Yeah, actually, that would give us our target. Right there about 48, 50K. Very doable, guys. $5,400. Yeah, man, that's what I'm calling for. Gap fill on the S&P right there at 50, about 56. Could happen, guys. Don't think this can't happen. Look right here, guys. Look at this. Look how what I had to do to get this one. Look at that. Look at that gap. That's not it. Right here. That gap was filled. Look at that, guys. Look at that gap. It's filled now, but I bet you nobody thought it would fill when it was up here. 27% drop. By the way, that was Shmita, guys. There's your Shmita. Shmita dropped gap fill. %27 drop. This would only be a 19% drop. Be careful, guys. Don't get caught with your pants down right now. Could have a big. This could be nothing. I mean, you could easily just do this. In fact, I'll show you a scenario where that is likely, although I don't think it's going to play out. Oops. Oh, gosh. What year was that? I think right here. 21. Is that right? I think this is it. I messed that up. No, I'll have to find it. I found a good fractal earlier that this matched up. I mean, perfectly too. But I just can't remember where it was. I really can't remember where it was. I'll find it later. I'll find it later. All right, guys. Any questions? Any questions? Yeah, Noah 5400. Yeah. Yep. I agree. It could happen. I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it this week. Bitcoin moving down, guys. Your alts are moving down. Be ready for these alts. If you're looking to fill your alt bags, be ready. I think when it goes, it's going to go quick. Remember, guys, your key. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you. If you lose this area right here, this key, you are going to fast move down. You have all the liquidity below these lows, this ascending line of support that has not been taken. And I'm going to encourage you guys. I know I got some guys that like to roll the dice in the Discord. I will not be trying. If we lose this area, I will not be trying to catch this falling knife. Because it could easily look just like this. Or if you go to lower time frames, it's something like this. Just like that. And you're wrecked. Be careful, guys. It's coming. It's coming this week. All right, guys. Hit me up in Discord if you need anything. I'm going to go protect my voice a little bit. Let me know if you have questions. I'm genuinely curious about, everybody was kind of crickets on the Shmita stuff. I'm genuinely curious. So let me know in Discord if you have any questions on Shmita. I'll be happy to talk to you about that or any other biblical references to it, things like that. I'll be happy to share the word a little bit. Let me know. I'm not trying to preach at you. Just if for no other reason, we could just get educated on the Shmita and the cycles of it. So love you guys. The Lord loves you guys. He's given us this Shmita. Be prepared. Let's accumulate early this cycle because we're going to expect an early top and a big crash that nobody is going to see coming because everybody's going to think we're 21 weeks into after the halving. We're headed up like every other time, and it's not going to happen. So be prepared. Make your money. It's not a bad thing. It just means a get out of the way thing. And then rebuy it into the Shmita down at the bottom and ride it back up. That's all. If you did that every single time here, you would be very, very, very profitable. So All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. We'll be back tomorrow for the U.S. Market Open. Hopefully my voice will be okay and we'll be feeling better. We will get back to trading. I've got copy trading going. I'm ready. I have alerts set. I'm going to pull the trigger exactly when I see what I'm looking for, guys. So our next trade is going to be a big one. I love you guys. I will see you next time.